They are waiting for a new formed government which will have to come out of the so-called coalition, since we all know that in the previous elections there was not a winner of a majority in the parliament. So therefore, all South African political parties who had participated in this 2024 general elections, they are called to form what we call a coalition government. And this have left us with only one question in mind, to ask you and to try to understand which one of the coalition will work for South Africans. Because we all know that coalitions comes with a lot of things, and we have to understand at least or have a clear idea on which kind of coalition would work for South Africans. We're having one side, the ANC is the ruling party, which seemed to come out with about 40% of the vote in this previous election that took place in South Africa, followed by the DA, then the MK of former President Jacob Zuma, and in the fourth position, we having EFF of Julius Malema. So all these political parties, they are called to form what we call a coalition government. Now, on one side, we're having the ANC, MK, and the EFF, which have to form a political party. On the other side, we're having the ANC, DA, IFP, and PA, who have again to form a coalition government. These have left main politicians divided among even the ANC members. We are having Kwed Mantash, who also have to challenge President Ramaphosa on his point of view, where he called for a government of national unity. Some they say that no, it's not a good idea for us to go for a national unity government. Some they say no, it's a good idea because everyone they have to benefit from this government. Well, with all these questions being put to you, I think it would be a very good idea for us to have a conversation and try to give you our point of view on what we think about this, because we are talking about one of the member body of Africa continent. We are talking about South Africa, because remember, what affects you, or if one part of your body gets to be affected, which means the entire body, it will have to not have that comfortable, you will have to feel somehow. Now, guys, in our previous video when we spoke about these things of coalition, I have make you to understand that in most of the case, or in the little experience I know about coalition government, trust me, coalition government, it never benefit people. Yes, I'm referring to you and me. Coalition governments never help anyone to find themselves if it is not politicians themselves. Because coalition government, it is a kind of like, look, we are all, or we've been all fighting over this cake, but since there is no one who could not be in possession of the entire cake, so let us share. And politicians, knowing them very well, when it comes to this kind of coalitions, they would like to uh, put their interest or their benefit above everything. And that is the reason why I said there's nothing good can come out from a coalition government, because if you look around the world, each and every government that come or go to coalitions, they always come out with a lot of drama, comedies, because remember, in coalition is to show you that no, you might be a president, but just know that on certain things you don't have a last word to say. So, in other words, you are not having a full control of everything. Coalition government, it is a government whereby gives a lot of chances to politicians in order for them to steal. Because it will happen, for an example, I'm a minister of finance, you are a minister maybe of education, and then we want to steal. If I caught you stealing, instead of me reporting you so that you can leave that office for someone else who deserves to sit inside that office, I'll rather try to work alongside with you and steal. And if we don't cooperate properly, at the end of the day, we become like enemies. That is how I see coalition. That is according to me, and that is my point of view. So we all knew that these elections that took place in South Africa previously, we spoke about it a couple of times, letting you know that they won't be the winner, especially the ANC, as we all know, that ANC of Nelson Mandela, which used to come out as number one, whether it is in the parliament, whether it is in metro or different municipalities. Looking at how the situation was sitting on the table, we end up realizing that no, yes, the ANC is still going to be there as the ruling party, but they'll drop below 50%. And that was actually the target of most of politicians who participate in these elections. All of them, if you look after the IEC had pronounced the final results, all of them, they were kind of like, yeah, this was our wish. We want to waken up the ANC because they believe that small by small, that is how they'll succeed to remove the ANC in power. So the more ANC keep on losing their voters, the good for them or the better for them. So that was something that most of people knew already. That's okay. The ANC, they'll drop below 50%, including even ANC members. They knew that already. But the worst part was they were not expecting that they'll be able to not have the majority in the parliament. Now that they failed to get this majority in the parliament, obviously, according to the constitution, they have to form a coalition government. Now, the constitution is requiring them to form this coalition government when things are not looking that good between politicians, when things are not sitting in the good condition between political parties who people of South Africa are supposed to be expecting them to sit one place and work for the benefit of the entire country. So this coalition is coming out when you find out that, for example, DA declaring a war against the ANC and trying to prevent the ANC to work with other political parties such as the EFF and the MK. When this coalition is coming, we are finding up an ANC who's having serious conflict with the MK of former President Jacob Zuma. And on the other side, you're finding the MK who are not even acknowledging the result of these elections. According to them, they believe that these elections were rigged. And then they kind of like sabotaging everything so far. Now, the time is running out because the ANC is the winner of this election so far. They are required or they are being given certain time, certain period where they have to make sure that they sit down and come up with a government so that they can start leading now the country. And the ANC, they have tried to make move on certain or different political parties. And so far, they are still debating because the kind of questions or kind of requirement that some other political parties are asking for the ANC they don't feel also like giving up. For an example, with the EFF, they are looking for the post of Minister of Finance and the Parliament because for them they believe with only those two posts they'll be able to hold accountable of the ANC deputy ministers and ministers and everyone. They'll be able to call them to the parliament and ask them questions. And if you ask them one of the reasons, you guys saw in one of the previous press conference that the CIC of EFF, Julius Malema, had gave that we play for you over here. He was saying that one of the reasons he wants to have the parliament, the seat of the parliament, was because of what had happened recently in the previous mandate of the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, whereby he was called to the parliament, but he could not come to the parliament because the ANC, they were having the majority, and this majority have to decide on how things have to happen inside that parliament. Even when they called for them to do some secret votes, but just because the ANC, they had the majority, they had to vote and say that no, the vote will be more in the open space so that everyone can see who wants for president to come and appear inside the parliament or not. So this was one of the reasons that motivated the EFF to not allow the ANC again being in control of the parliament, so that some of the motions can be approved more easily if it does make reasons, or if it does make sense for any kind of a person to appear inside the parliament. I don't know how you think about this, but that is the point of view of the EFF. The second reason they gave when they wanted to have the Minister of Finance is because they believe that having Minister of Finance is going to unlock places where there is corruption. That's one. Personally, I totally agree with them on that one, because we all know that there can be any kind of corruptions which can be organized by some group of individuals somewhere within the government or different posts. But if Minister of Finance does not approve for money to go out, if Minister of Finance does not agree for a certain tender to go ahead and take place, I don't think people will be able to corrupt. So one of the things that we can be able to stop corruption in this country, it is only by looking at the post of finance minister, because that is where everything is being played. To show you how powerful this post of Minister of Finance it is, not only in South Africa but all over around the world, especially in Africa continent. Look, for an example, during the time of former President Jacob Zuma, the power that Guptas used to have, they were having all this power because they are the one who were in control, or they had the word to say when it comes to the post of finance, Minister of Finance, because they know very well that if they can have Minister of Finance into their hands, then they'll be able to do certain things around. They'll be able to get their tenders being approved. They'll be able to do some illegal things behind all that. That's the reason why you saw even some of the allegations which came out saying that some of the ministers of finance during the time of former President Jacob Zuma, they were all being nominated by Guptas. Why? Because they know very well that in order for us to be able to corrupt, or in order for us to do some fishy things around, we need to have Minister of Finance on our side, so that each and every tender we can bring to him or her, they'll be able to approve it, and then we'll make money. So the post of Minister of Finance is not that simple as you guys think out there. And that's something that you see the EFF, they are claiming. On the side of the ANC, they are refusing with that. They are refusing with that because they know also very well that giving that post to the EFF is going to really destroy a lot of things. Now, let's go to the side of the MK. According to the late reports which the SG of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, had said about the kind of political parties that they've managed to approve so far, one of them was the MK. And they said that the MK, since they approved, since they approached them, These people, they have not go or respond back to the ANC. They kind of like ignoring the ANC or ignoring the fact that no, they're supposed to be sitting one place so that they can organize these coalition things. The ANC wrote to them, they approached them so that they can sit down and discuss. The MK, they did not even respond back to them. Instead, the MK came and disapproved this misinformation that was circulating online on social media saying that no, the MK, they are busy negotiating with the ANC. Now, the MK, they don't want to be part of this coalition. For what reasons? Well, according to them, reason number one is that they don't acknowledge the outcome of this election result, which was announced by the president of IEC. According to them, they believe that this election was rigged somewhere there. And they believe that they're supposed to be in the right position, especially in some metros. And they believe that they did something fishy, especially that moment when the result, I mean, the dashboard result went off or went offline. That was the moment when they feel like, no, the result, the whole entire result is being rigged in order, in profit of certain political parties. So far, they have not mentioned any political party who could be part of this plan. Secondly, or the second reason they don't want to be part of this coalition is because after they reject the result from the IEC, they went straight to court. They went to magistrate court and opened a case there against the IEC so that the court can decide, even though we all know that there's nothing good will come out of that. Yes, if you are expecting that the court will come and say that, okay, fine, they should maybe recount the result or maybe do the revote, I doubt, I don't see that happening. Because proof to that, when the IEC went to see the Chief Justice Raymond Zondo to go and submit the list of all the elected who will be participating in this National Assembly and how things happen around, the whole process went very well. There could not even be someone who was gonna come and say that no, look, this is what we are thinking, or maybe there were some allegations which was raised, and we have to look on this one. No one talked about it. They kept quiet. Do you know why? Because obviously, guys, we are talking about a system which has been there for more than 30 years now. So it's not that easy for you to just come today and just because you believe that the election was rigged, so you end up believing that no, whatsoever you apply inside the court, they'll accept it or they'll approve it. So the outcome of that result, I mean, of what will happen in court, well, only time will tell whether we are right now or not. But me, I don't see anything coming from it. The AMK, they should just forget about that and maybe try to focus on to see on how they can sit one place and see which parts of coalitions would like to participate. Now, reason number three that the MK that's making the MK to not be excited to be part of this coalition, it is because of the conflict which they're having between the MK. I'm referring to the individuals such as former President Jacob Zuma and the ANC. So if you guys you get a chance, go around and watch the interview, the previous two interviews that former President Jacob Zuma had given to some of the local media. You'll understand very well whenever it's being asked a question whether it's going to work with the ANC or not. You'll understand him. Jacob Zuma keeps saying repeatedly saying that yes, he can work with the ANC, but not the ANC of Ramaphosa. In other words, is no longer acknowledging the leadership of President Ramaphosa in the ANC. So he keep on accusing the ANC being destroyed by the under the leadership of President Ramaphosa, alongside with some individuals, though he could not be able to mention all their names, but I remember in one of the interviews he mentioned people such as Paul Mashatile, Fikile Mbalula, Gwed Mantash. Already we know that it's been for some times now that they've been having problem with Gwed Mantash. So he believed that there's a group of people within the ANC leadership who are busy destroying the ANC and they're making serious mistakes and no one is holding them accountable for that. So he believed that he don't have time to go and sit down and talk to these people or work with them through a coalition. So when it comes to the MK, obviously, I personally I don't see that they'll ever work with the ANC. If it happened that they have to work with the ANC, I see them uh, requiring for very, should I say, very big positions in these ANC things. So they'll ask like different kind of posts where they believe that okay, with this post will be able to do one, two, three things. That is if they are being serious with their own conscience. If they are at the, if they are at the service of people of South Africa. But so far, the approach between the two political parties does not seem to be that good. So we put that aside. Now let's go on the other angles or the other side of the road. This time we are seeing the ANC going to a coalition between DA, IFP, and PA because these are kind of political parties who seem to have at least one or three, four, 10 maybe uh, sit in the parliament. And the ANC, as we said again, they don't have a choice but to negotiate with some of these political parties so that they can form up a coalition in the parliament or in the government. Now, on the side of DA, they are the one who are benefiting from all this. Why? Because this was one of their wishes. This was one of their wishes because they knew very well that if the ANC can't be able to get the majority of votes in the parliament, and then they manage to hold their place, which is standing second position, like in all other previous elections that have passed, well, that will make the ANC to accept to work with them because they have something to say in all this. Okay, fine. But working with the DA, what is people saying out there? What does people of South Africa think about it out there? This seems to be something that have divided the opinions of people. There are those ones who believe that no, it's a good idea. There are those people who also think that no, it's not even a good idea at all. Actually, it is kind of the idea that will take this country again back to apartheid regime. Because remember, seeing DA actually represents the apartheid regime. And when we see apartheid regime, we see the West. Yep. Like they always say, tell me who are your friends, I'll tell you who you are. So there are a couple of things which will make the DA to enjoy these situations, and on other side, it will incriminate the ANC in a very worse way. It will destroy all the strategy that the ANC they have managed to put in place for 30 years. Let me give you the facts. Imagine ANC working with the DA. What will be the position after they already shared the post of ministers and everything? What will be the position when it comes to what Israel is doing in Gaza right now? What will be the position of DA on that? Because we all know that in the policy of the ANC, they've been for people of Palestine. Every time they keep on talking about condemning what is happening in Palestine, they even took the government of Israel with Prime Minister of Israel, they took them to court. That we all know it's something that the DA never wants and they will never do it. When we see political parties such as the EFF, even though they are in the opposition part, they are standing one place. They are having same opinions with the ANC when it comes to support people of Palestine. The DA, they never do so. Here's another very easy example. When the whole African continent, they are isolating themselves or distancing themselves from all the activities that is taking place in between Russia and Ukraine, because we all know that that fight, it has nothing to do with Russia and Ukraine, but it is between Russia with the West. Proof to that, it's just a matter of the time. You will see what is going to happen. The war, that war is going to be escalated. We're about to engage ourselves in World War III, all thanks to Joe Biden administrative. And it's just a matter of time from now on. I will be inviting you guys to watch our next videos that we have prepared for you already. You will see on how we give the basic truths or tools that prove that this was going to be isolated. But back to the point I was saying, we all know that when these things are happening, South Africa remain neutral. It's been calling for peace. Okay? But what happened with DA? We saw John Stenizen going all the way in Ukraine. He went over there, disobeying his government of South Africa, going over there and showing people of Ukraine that they have the support of DA. And we all know countries that have been supporting Ukraine. It is British, it is France, it is Belgium, it is the US, all those Western countries that the one who are behind Ukraine. So you can tell already that it is true indeed when they say, show me who are your friends, I'll tell you who you are. So my question is that, what would be the relationship between South Africa with Russia? Do you think the DA are going to support that? Don't you think that there will be kind of a certain decisions which the ANC is supposed to be taking regarding countries such as Russia, Palestine, BRICS? These countries, some decisions instead of the ANC taking, they have to go and consult A. And after the consult of the DA, they can even disapprove it. Because we all know that the DA, they never want to see South Africa to be part of the BRICS. Apology, I think the light is off. So guys, those are the kind of challenge that the ANC they are facing. The ANC they are facing all this because DA will come actually and try to destroy all the ANC policies. Let me give you another example. We all know that recently the relationship between South Africa and the United States of America is not that good for some times now. Do you know why? Because the US with its allies, they wanted to start control other African countries. They have come to the point of saying that, look, Nelson Mandela is no more. And we feel like we are losing control over there. We need to take control by starting, for example, suggesting, for example, like what they wanted to do in the previous elections. They were suggesting to send some US observers in these South African elections. If it was not for South Africa having such a good foreign minister as an elite Pandor, can you have an idea of what was going to happen? Because it is all Naledi Pandor who had them come and tell them that, no, since when The only observers who are welcome to come and observe what is happening in South Africa, they are African observers who come from SADC and AU. These are people who are welcome. These Europeans and the US observers, we don't need their opinions. Because when they do their elections, no Africans who goes in their country saying that no, we are here to observe and see who's going to win this election or how things will happen around. They don't allow us that, which is true. Go around, check when France with Emmanuel Macron or British, whatever they do over there, there is no presence of Africans. But these people, they had the courage to come and ask Africans, oh, that no, we want to be here. So, thanks to the strategy which the foreign minister, Nadir Pando, had played to tell them that no, we don't need your help. We are good. We'll do this on our own as we've been doing it every time. So rejecting the US in all this, obviously, it is paining them. They'll feel like, okay, it seems like this ANC, they are doing this to us. Now imagine if a political party with a leader such as Julius Malema come and take over. Because with Julius Malema, you don't even need to try it, because the man has been very clear from the beginning of his career as a politician. He's been saying that he will never gonna work. I mean, he's not gonna work with the U.S. and these Western countries. Instead, he choose or he prefer to work with countries such as Russia, China, India, these other countries like Argentina, Brazil. That is according to the EFF policies. So, stopping this relationship or refusing for the U.S. policy, I mean the politics, to get interfere in South Africa politics, you must know that it's a very big shock that they have given to these people. So they'll always try to find a way on how to stop the ANC. And now that the ANC, they are about to go to coalition government, which means they'll need to have someone who will be on their side as a DA to start maybe stopping the ANC from taking certain kind of decisions which can benefit a black South African. So obviously, that is something now that remains on the side of the ANC. But as for the rest, as the IFP, PA, well, those one for me, I believe that it is all about post. Yes, it is all about post. Like they're trying to protect more their interest, having some post which they know that's gonna finance well their political party and everything. And that is the reason why you see them like they are busy bragging around saying that you were a kingmaker. Now, when all these are happening, there is a serious problem now going on within the ANC members. Here are the facts again. Within the ANC members, there are those who don't even want to work with the DA. We have ministers such as Lindiwe, Sisulu, Gwet Mantash. There are so many of them within the ANC, including even the ANC veterans. They say that not us working with the DA, it is kind of like we are betraying all the people who had fought for this freedom. Among the ANC allies, who are having Cope and other people, they even distance themselves from all this. They make statements through a media saying that the ANC should not even think of abandoning the fight of black South Africans in profit of some white monopolitical. Therefore, they're inviting the ANC as their partner to listen to them, to not go ahead and do a coalition with DA. And some of them, they even threaten the ANC, saying that if the ANC do or try to disobey them, well, it will make them be like stop their relationship. So that is how now you see where now we get into our last point. The ANC leader or the President of Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, he had to come and announce a government of national unity. What does that mean? When we're talking about national unity, it is still a coalition government. But politicians, they always want to find something that they can use in order to make people that know they are working for people. This government of national unity, it won't be the first time for it to take place in South Africa. Do you guys still remember back in days with our former president, who is now late, Nelson Mandela? He also did that. And like enough, during his time, things went a bit okay until in last minute when we start seeing the true colors of all these ministers who were doing part of that national unity government. Now, President Ramaphosa is calling for this national unity government, which means he kind of like wanting to work with everyone, but they'll have to consider each and every political party according to what they are bringing to the table. So, here again, it's a very bad news for the ANC ministers or those who've been waiting to be nominated, because unfortunately for them, in this upcoming election of in this coming government of the ANC, trust me, President Ramaphosa, out of how many ministers do we have? It's gonna come out, maybe it's gonna take maybe 8 ministers with him that the ANC maybe will have to announce. The rest of ministers, they'll go different ways. Some they'll be from the EFF, some they'll be from DA, MK, IFP, PA, so on, Goods, Bosa, all those politicians, they might also find themselves inside. So if the ANC used to have more authorities to nominate more ministers, this time is not going to be that easy, because, for example, if they have to share the post in this national unity government, the ANC, if, for example, they take 8 posts, this 8 posts is not going to go straight to the ANC. They'll have to think of their allies. You understand? They have again to share that 8 ministers with other allies who've been there supporting them. So you can see already that things are not that good, or they not seem to be that simple for the ANC. Therefore, what now will happen here? Now, what will happen is that if they have to do this national, government of national unit, who will become the opposition? Okay, because who's gonna be there? There are 2 things which are involved here. And for me now, this is me. I'm just thinking. I'm like, do I see the politics of this country? I'm just giving my point of view. You can take it or leave it. Me, I always say that we put everything out there, and then we see as time pass by, and we can tell whether we're right or not. If they do this national government of national unity, it's going to waken up the opposition political party in this country, because in other words, it will show that we are sharing this cake. Whatsoever happen, if it happened the good position, in the good way that South Africans they can be proud, for example, creating more jobs for South Africans, stopping unemployment, stopping load shedding, stopping all those good things, then which means this, it will be accredited to this every political party that participates in this government of national unity will applaud for them and say that yes, they work for the good of South Africans, and South Africans, we managed to benefit from all this. But if it happened that they fail and things get worse to the point where it is today, well, we are not going to contribute the fail of this to the ANC. We are going to give it to everyone who participate in this national, the government of national unity. whether you are the EFF, whether you are the DA or the MK, we are going to say that you guys you failed. So don't stop coming here and telling us that no, we'll do better than that. We give you a chance, and you guys you fail. Simple as that. So that is how these things works. If the ANC succeed, then we'll give them also the credit, say that no, thanks to them, the ANC succeed. If the ANC fail, which means them also will say that they have failed. Guys, I see you about 400 watching this video, but you are not liking this video. Please do me a favor, like this video. It is free, okay? You just hit that thumb. You like the video, we really do appreciate, because of what you are doing here. It shows that at least you guys are finding something benefit. So please do like this video. I'll really do appreciate. Back to what I was saying. Now, when this happened, thank you, Nomonde. Thank you so much. So when this is happening, you will see that no, these people, they are doing these things out of their own profit, out of their own interest, and forgetting what can affect people of South Africa tomorrow. So now, let's say for an example, like, okay, the MK accept to go to this government of national unity, EFF, DA, all of them, as I mentioned them earlier, they accept to be part of this government. Who's gonna take the opposition party in the parliament? That's the question. So if I have to give my point of view, whoever decides to go and do this national government of national unity with the ANC, well, if you go there, you must know that you have to forget about the post of being the the opposition political party in the parliament, because it's going again to benefit the DA. Already, according to the constitutions, they are being recognized as the first opposition political party in South Africa. So I think since they are so desperate, rushing to work or to be part of to go to coalition of the ANC, because they don't want to see the ANC going to the coalition with the MK and the EFF. Well, me, I prefer let them go. Let them go. So because them going to work together like that is gonna weaken up all of them, whether it is the DA, whether it is the ANC. I believe nothing good is gonna come out of it. And then on other side, if it happened that the MK of President Jacob Zuma, the EFF of Julius Malema, they stay in opposition political party as the radical opposition political party, I believe that is when it will motivate even the ANC and any other political party that will be in coalition with them to work harder. Because we all know that in this country, the EFF is well known as one of the radical opposition political party. They are there like they don't beg. Whatever comes out from their mouth is what they mean. And now we see in the last minutes, the MK of former President Jacob Zuma came out, took a very big position which no one sees coming. And then they are already being that tough on the ANC. They are so radical. By starting first rejecting the election result, even though it placed them in the right position, but they reject everything. They took the IEC to court, and already you can tell what kind of drama that will be happening. The ANC must form a coalition with DA, the right thing to do. Exactly. I was just reading a comment. Exactly. Me, I think so as well. They should do it with the DA so that the EFF and MK, they can remain in the opposition political party. So that when in the next elections, when that time comes, they'll be able to show to people of South Africa, like, no, look what these people, they fail to do. Oh, thank you so much, Educational Arena TV. I love you, my man. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment. So that when they do that, at least it will make them become that stronger. So that if they can manage to win the elections, or they manage to win the majority in the parliament in the next elections, then the MK with EFF, they can work together. Do you know why? Because after all, these two political parties, they have a lot of in common. Their policies, their manifestos look almost the same. So you see, I think that's what's going to happen. But anyway, we shall wait. I mean, we shall wait and see what will happen, because we are just giving our point of view. We are just giving our analysis, but we don't know what these people think. And also, I see, as I was telling you, I saw most of these small political parties rushing, wanting to work or to be part of this coalition. Obviously, it's because, as I said at the beginning of this video, it is a how to call this? It is a cake, a sweet cake, which they want to share all of them. So they want to fight, because they know each and every post you will be taking, your political party will be making something out of it, and you guys are gonna continue with your life. But a clever or a visionary person right now, they should forget about these things called national government, whatever they call it, or national unit. I don't buy it. If you doubting me, let's bet here. I will remind you guys one of these days. Even if they do that government of national unity, you'll start seeing a lot of dramas in the parliament. You start seeing them fighting. They'll be like, "Oh, you have still too much. Let me give me also a chance. Let me steal." They'll start. You guys, you saw it previously in around metros, how they were busy fighting, removing mayors, removing that one, replacing him with this one. You guys, you saw what happened. Now, can you imagine now in the national level? So we shall wait and see what will happen. That's what me I think. But after all, politicians, they have their way of doing things. Let's hope they will succeed and they will do what is good for people of South Africa to benefit at the end of the day, because that's the most important thing. Well, guys, thank you so much. I think that will be all for today. But before you leave, make sure that you do us a favor. Uh, like this video. That's all I'm asking you. It is free of charge. You're not kind of like spending anything. It's just a way of you also supporting us, so that this video can be recommended to many people out there who can come and also find out what we have discussed with you through this video. So your likes, we really do appreciate for you appreciate you for that. But if it happened that you find something beneficial in this video, well, you just have to subscribe, because this is a Pan African platform that we have created for Africans all over around the world, where we get to sit and talk about what is happening in Africa continent, because we believe that Africa is supposed to be very far, but just because we lacking some informations, or we some basic things that we're supposed to be doing, that's why we still not yet developed. So we are here. We discuss about matters that make sense, and not about things that does not make sense. So if you want to join this big family of Cool Buzz TV, well, feel free to subscribe to the channel, so that whenever we're here live, you'll be able to join us and then have conversation with us. Above all, feel free also to give us also your point of view through the comment section. Tell us what you think. Which of which one of coalition that will work for South Africans? We said that we having ANC, DA, IFP, and PA one side. On the other side, we having ANC, EFF, and the MK of Jacob Zuma on the other side. And on the last position, we are having what we call government of national unit. So tell us also, what do you think can work properly for people of South Africa? Do you think we should go for a national unity where we get to share posts according to our deputies we are having in the parliament, or we should go as a different political parties are busy negotiating right now? Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video, guys. I'm so happy. Uh, I think it was very important that we have this conversation with you. So stay tuned for our next videos. We'll see you again very soon. But for now, continue to be yourself. Be good, be kind. Have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. Also again very soon. Ciao, ciao.